90 Day Fiance star Julia Trubikna has officially hit her limit, and she is no longer holding herself back. She recently delivered what might be the classiest mic drop in the franchise. And yes, she did use the F word. Apparently, after bearing Brandon's parents' weird antics for a long time, the celeb finally decided to settle the score once and for all. But Julia decided to do it with a whole lot of grace as she told them a respectfully F***CKU, and viewers are all on her side. But here comes the main question: where was Brandon during this confrontation? What did he do to balance the dynamics? Keep on reading to learn more about the controversy because the tea is really hot. 90 Day Fiancé viewers are watching the way Brandon's parents, Ron and Betty, are involved in their son's life way more than they should. They make all the decisions on behalf of their son, and even Brandon is dependent on them to some extent. Naturally, all of this didn't really sit well with Julia, and as Brandon's wife, she didn't like the way the elderly couple controlled her life. Hence, after witnessing some shocking incidents, Julia finally decided to take matters into her own hands. She told Betty that she couldn't have a permanent room in her house and should consider living in her own home more often. The celeb further confronted Betty and Ron for the way they were intruding in her marriage and made it clear that she wouldn't let them do that. However, it seems that things are now getting out of their hands. 90 Day Fiancé star Brandon's parents are watching their son's inclination towards his wife, Julia, and it is evident that they aren't fond of the new normal in their lives. Hence, during an explosive confrontation with Julia, Ron was quick to accuse her of putting a wedge between him and Brandon. Betty was quick to chime in and claim that she doesn't even know who Brandon was or what he was doing in life. Well, how would Betty and Ron recognize their son as he was listening to someone else for a change? But it seems that Julia wasn't ready to be held accountable for anything and everything. She told the cameras, respectfully, F***CKU. Surely, that's what a frustrated person, a victim of old age intruders who are actually their in-laws, says when water goes way beyond their head. Julia asked Betty and Ron to step back from her family while her mother-in-law wondered why Julia wasn't going back home. But what was Brandon doing during this entire confrontation? Well, he simply sat on the floor, with tears like a baby, as he couldn't figure out what to do.